6:47 in the morning. Elon Musk is already awake and already on his second monitor. Not his first, his second. The first one is playing a live stream of a rocket that isn't launching today. He doesn't need it to launch. He just likes watching it sit there, threatening to. By 6:51, he has replied to 4 people he doesn't know, muted 1 senator, and eaten half a protein bar he found in a drawer that used to belong to someone else's desk. Nobody asks whose desk. Nobody ever asks. At the kitchen counter, one of his kids asks him a question about breakfast. He answers it completely, in full sentences, the way he'd answer a reporter, and then realizes, 4 sentences in, that the question was just cereal or eggs. The kid has already picked cereal. Somewhere, an aide is trying to get him into a car. The car has been running for 11 minutes. The aide has stopped checking the time. He walks out holding 3 phones and wearing 1 shoe correctly. The other shoe is also correct, technically, just on the wrong foot, on purpose, because someone bet him he wouldn't. He gets in, immediately gets back out to grab a 4th phone he forgot, and gets back in like that was always the plan. By 8:15, he is in a meeting about batteries that has, through no clear mechanism, become a meeting about whether Mars has copyright law. Nobody remembers who brought up Mars. Everyone privately blames the same person. He interrupts himself twice, agrees with both interruptions, and greenlights a project that didn't exist 40 seconds ago. A junior engineer writes it down like it's real. It is now real. By Thursday, he says, to nobody assigned to that task, this should be smaller. Nobody asks smaller than what. The meeting ends 9 minutes early because he has already left it, physically and otherwise. Someone tries to hand him a printed agenda on the way out. He takes it, folds it in half without reading it, and uses it to prop open a door that didn't need propping. Meanwhile, in another building, a man in a lanyard is renaming a product for the 4th time this year. He does not know why. He has stopped asking why. By 9:40, he's on a call with investors he can't see, in a room with a screen showing 11 small rectangles of people nodding at slightly different times. He mutes himself to yawn, forgets to unmute, and answers the next 3 questions like he's still talking, before someone finally texts him, "You're on mute." He unmutes mid-sentence. Nobody heard the beginning of the sentence. Nobody asks him to repeat it. One investor asks about quarterly guidance. He answers with a story about a dog he saw on the way in. The story does, eventually, loop back to guidance. It takes 4 minutes. 2 people time it. A finance director slides him a note that says, in block letters, "Stay on topic." He reads it, nods seriously, and immediately goes on a different topic, a better one, in his opinion, involving a factory floor and a robot dog. Nobody in the room has seen a robot dog. Nobody asks to. By 10:20, the call ends 9 minutes over. The 11 small rectangles disappear one at a time, like lights going out in a building at the end of a shift. He's already halfway to the next thing before the last one closes. At 11:02, Elon decides, mid-sentence, mid-sandwich, that today is the day he personally test drives the new humanoid robot down a hallway that was not designed for either of them. The robot walks like it's being watched, because it is. It bows to a janitor. The janitor bows back, out of politeness, not protocol. Somewhere a PR team is already drafting a tweet about it that will post before the walk is even over. Someone asks if the robot can carry boxes. He says yes with total confidence before anyone has confirmed the robot can lift anything heavier than a clipboard. The robot picks up a box. It's a small box. Nobody mentions this. By noon, the tweet has 3 million views and a poll attached. The poll asks if the robot should have a name. The winning option, by a landslide, is a joke submitted 40 seconds after the poll opened. He renames the robot on the spot. It is now the joke. He does not eat lunch. He drinks a coffee someone else ordered, standing over a whiteboard that now says, in his handwriting, Mars, later, maybe Tuesday. Underneath it, in someone else's handwriting, smaller, please eat something. 2 in the afternoon. Cameras, a stage. He is introducing something, a car, a chip, a tunnel. It changes slightly depending on who's asking, and he starts strong, then wanders, live, into a story about a satellite that has nothing to do with the announcement. The crowd laughs at the wrong parts and stays silent at the right ones. He seems fine with this. He has never once checked whether a joke landed before moving to the next one. A reporter asks a hard question. He answers a different, easier question, with total confidence, as if it were the one asked. Nobody corrects him on camera. Several people correct him, silently, in their heads. A second reporter tries a follow-up, more specific this time, harder to dodge. He pauses, actually pauses, for almost 2 full seconds, and then answers it by announcing something unrelated that nobody in the room had heard about yet. The follow-up is, effectively, over. By the end of the event, he has announced 2 things that were real, and 1 thing that was, as far as anyone can tell, invented in real time to see how the room would react. The room reacted well. It's happening now. 6:30 in the evening. No cameras. This is the version nobody clips. He sits alone at a desk that's too big for one person, scrolling. Not posting, just scrolling. Through replies to something he said 11 hours ago and has already half forgotten. You'd think at this point he'd stop reading the comments. He doesn't. He reads all of them. He likes the mean ones almost as much as the kind ones, because at least the mean ones are specific. One comment says, simply, "You seem tired." He stares at it longer than the others. He doesn't reply. He screenshots it, though, and doesn't do anything with the screenshot either. Somewhere, an aide brings him dinner he asked for and then doesn't touch. He's looking at a spreadsheet with a number on it that is either extremely good or catastrophically bad, depending entirely on tomorrow, which hasn't happened yet. For about 4 minutes, nobody needs anything from him. He doesn't know what to do with those 4 minutes. He starts drafting a tweet, deletes it, starts another one. 11:58 at night. The tweet from 6:52 finally posts. It is 1 word long. It moves a market that was already closed, which somehow makes it worse for the people who work in that market. By midnight, the robot has a fan account. The satellite from earlier is trending for reasons unrelated to satellites. Somewhere, an aide is asleep in a chair, still holding a phone that hasn't stopped buzzing since early morning. He is still awake. Not working exactly, just awake, the way a light stays on in a house long after everyone inside has stopped needing it lit. Tomorrow starts in 5 hours and 2 minutes. He knows this. He does not go to bed. He opens a new tab, types 1 word, and starts again. Somewhere, a rocket that still hasn't launched sits quietly on a screen nobody's watching anymore. It doesn't need to launch today. It just needs to keep threatening to.